Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, welcome back with me. My name is Jeyhan Brilliantica Az-Zahra and I'm from class 5C from English Literature. And here I am to tell you guys about interpreting in my industry. And today I will give you some information about the differences between interpreting and translation, and then I will give you some information about the type of interpreting. And now I will tell you guys about interpreting first. Interpreting is the process of translating spoken language directly from one language to another. It's a complex activity that requires high linguistic skills, listening ability, and the ability to react quickly and accurately in dynamic situations. And here the differences between interpreting and translation. They're both forms of language mediation, but they have different things when different in mode of communication. For example, here are some of the differences between translation and interpreting. The first one is mode of communication. In interpreting, it uses spoken or signed language. In translation, it only uses written text. And then for the time frame, in interpreting use real time, but in translation use no real time. And then for the interaction, in interpreting use direct interaction between participants, and translation non-direct interaction with participants. And then from the skill set, in interpreting, the skill set used are listening, speaking, memory, fluency, and cultural awareness. But in translation, it only uses reading, writing, grammar, vocabulary, and cultural awareness. And the next I'm gonna tell you guys about the type of interpreting. The first one is whispered interpreting. Whispered interpreting is a form of simultaneous interpreting, which is usually used for a small group meeting. It's also known as cohortage. And the next one is side interpreting. It involves reading a written text in one language immediately, translating it aloud into another language. It used in legal, medical, or business setting. Next is conference interpreting. It used at a meeting or conference where the participants speaks different language. And the next is escort interpreting. It's a type of consecutive interpreting which is usually used for a small informal settings. And the next is liaison or bilateral interpreting. The interpreter translates two parties or more into language. The interpreter acts as a mediator. The next is telephone interpreting. It's actually a part of bilateral interpreting, but it uses telephone as the media. And the next is television interpreting. It's a type of simultaneous interpreting that uses equipment. The next is video conference. It's a type of remote interpreting where interpreter provide language services for virtual meetings and conference. The next is community interpreting. Interpreting that takes place in community-based setting situation. It includes education, housing, legal, social security, and police. And the next is court interpreting. Interpreting that usually works with lawyers, witnesses, or defendant. And the last one is medical interpreting. Medical interpreters must have the background of professional interpreter and master the medical terms. And that's all from me. Thank you for your attention and see you next time. Bye. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.